Hi there again. Well, I just want to touch on today just one or two things about the mystical side of life. I haven't spoken about it before because it's very, very, very hard to describe. Because I'm told, and I've experienced this myself, if one has had some kind of experience of something greater than oneself, it's extremely difficult. So what I've actually chosen today are 3 poems from 3 different forms of literature and 3 different religions. Because unfortunately, over the many years, we lost sight of this visionary part of the scriptures, as they call it, from each of the religions. So the first one is the Upanishads. The Upanishads, for me, was really written by the rishis, those are the wise men and women, the rishis, before Hinduism started. So I'm just going to read this, and just remember, it's all to do with absolutely falling in love with all that is. This is what they're trying to explain. All is perfect, so perfectly perfect. Whatever being lives and moves and breathes on earth, at every level, from atom to galaxy, is absolutely perfect in its place, because that flows from the glory of God, the Lord, the Self, consciousness, the source, awareness, peace and love, and is therefore perfect when you have surrendered your ego to that. You will never find true happiness. That one, the true self of consciousness, reality, love, although still, is swifter than thought, as a greyhound is to a tortoise. The senses never know that. Consciousness runs and overtakes them. Consciousness moves and does not move. It appears to be distant and yet it is near. It animates all and envelops all eternally. So that's one of the Upanishads from the Hindu religion. The second one I want to take for you is from the Jewish background, which of course dealt with the Jewish history mainly. But within it was a whole thing called wisdom literature. And again, it was neglected over the years in favour of dogma, and the catechism we used to learn about God. And this is what Jesus was trying to say to them, trying to get people to look at the mysticism, because he was a mystic. And this is a little bit long, but I think you'll like it. This is the creation of wisdom. And think of it as you saying it yourself. The Lord created me when his purpose first unfolded. From everlasting I was firmly set, from the beginning before earth came into being. The deep was not when I, wisdom, was born. There were no springs to gush with water. Before the mountains were settled, before the hills I came to birth, before he made the earth, the countryside, or the first grains of the world's dust. When he fixed the heavens firm, I was there. When he drew a ring on the surface of the deep, when he thickened the clouds above, when he assigned the seas its boundaries, I was by his side, delighting him day after day, ever at play in his presence. I play everywhere in this world, delighting to be with the sons of men. And then this other poem you really must read, it's called The Song of Songs, and it's about the lover and the loved one. But obviously it's talking about, universal consciousness and this idea of being in love. And just listen to this as a poem. I hear my beloved, see how he comes, leaping on the mountains, bounding over the hills. My beloved is like a gazelle, like a young stag. See where he stands behind our wall. He looks in at the window. He peers through the lattice. My beloved lifts up his voice. He says to me, come then, my love, my lovely one, come. For see, winter is past. The rains are over and gone. The flowers appear on the earth. The season of glad songs has come. The cooing of the turtle dove is heard in our land. The fig tree is forming its first figs, and the blossoming vines give out their fragrance. Come then, my love, my lovely one, come. So that was from the Jewish literature. And finally then, from the Muslim literature, the famous mystic is a man called Rumi, R-U-M-I, Rumi. This is the booklet, one of the books you can get of all his poems. And he himself, again, was a mystic, and he lived in about 12th century AD. And a lot of his sayings you may have heard or read, and just one from here, which I think I like. It's a little bit amusing. But again, think about the lover. Greetings from your drunken lover. You stole my heart. Beloved, now I am offering my life. Friends, let him intoxicate you completely, for being half drunk is of no use. His wine is like an electric spark for the soul. There are many pale faces in love's kingdom, much sorrow and many tears, but do not fear for your reputation. Once you become an empty cup, the wine bearer will fill you with divine love. Fear not for your reputation, you will be glorified. Thank you. I hope you understood that. If you've experienced it, you'll know what they are saying. If you haven't, it's there all the time to tap into. All the time. Thank you.